From the press box atop Dolphin Soccer Park on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet presents NCAA Division II men's soccer coverage live on the ECC network. Today's matchup features the Redhawks of Roberts Wesleyan College taking on the College of Staten Island Dolphins. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Joe Foreman joining you from the College of Staten Island, bringing you all of the action during today's game. And for the Dolphins, they will be looking to snap a 3-game losing streak entering today's match, a 4-match winless streak for the College of Staten Island. They played to a draw against Felician University 2 weeks ago today, back on Wednesday, October 13th. They have not won a match since October 9th. That was at Dieuville, a Saturday matchup in the East Coast Conference. Since their tie with Felician University back on Wednesday the 13th, the Dolphins have dropped 3 straight, including East Coast Conference matchups against St. Thomas Aquinas and Damon College, as well as a non-conference matchup at Goldie Beacom. In their matchup with the Spartans back on Saturday the 16th, the Dolphins dropping that match by a final score of 3-0, and the College of Staten Island struggles really began in that match against the Spartans. For the Dolphins in that match, as I mentioned, they drop it by a 3-0 result, and I did have the numbers from that match on my iPad, but now I have to go and find them. I did have them on my computer as well, but that is not working at the moment, so I'll pick up those numbers from the match with the Spartans off my iPad. The Dolphins in that match outshot 21-8, 9-5 in shots on goal in favor of the Spartans. St. Thomas Aquinas got ahead in the 24th minute and never looked back on their way to a 3-0 victory. At Goldie Beacom, it was an ugly 5-1 result for the College of Staten Island. They trailed by 4 goals in that match before Larry Diggs scored the lone Staten Island goal in that match. That goal came in the 81st minute. The Lightning did respond in the 88th minute with another goal. They take the 5-1 victory. And then the third loss in this recent 3-game losing skid for the College of Staten Island came against Damon College. The lone goal in that match scored in the 9th minute by Damon. The Wildcats go on to win 1-0. For the Dolphins, 5 yellow cards, or I should say for both teams, 5 yellow cards issued combined. For Daniel Angulo, he picked up a pair in the match. That gives him 5 yellow cards for the season. The Dolphins captain will be serving a suspension as a result of those yellow cards during today's match against the Redhawks. The Dolphins, without a key player in the midfield, their captain Daniel Angulo will not be available today for the College of Staten Island. The Dolphins will have to make do without him. For the Redhawks, they come into today's match with a record of 6-4-2 on the season, and they have an unbeaten streak that has now extended 6 matches all the way back to Saturday, September 25th, where they played to a tie against fellow ECC member Mercy College. Along the way, the Redhawks have taken on 5 East Coast Conference opponents during that 6-game unbeaten stretch that I just mentioned. Of course, the 2-2 tie against Mercy, a 2-0 victory over Damon College on Wednesday, the 29th of September, a 1-0 overtime victory against Bridgeport on Saturday, October 9th. On Saturday the 16th, 1 week later, they defeated the Queens College Knights by a score of 5-1. Out of conference, they picked up a 3-1 victory at the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown, and then wrapping up that 6-game unbeaten stretch that the Redhawks are in the midst of right now. They played to a tie in double overtime against Dieuville on Saturday, October 23rd. So the Dolphins will have their hands full this afternoon as the Dolphins look to get back in the win column. They do come in struggling, as I mentioned, 3-9-1 on the season, 6-4-2 overall for the visiting Redhawks. And taking a look at the numbers for the players on both sides. First, for the College of Staten Island, they come in being led in goals by Larry Diggs and Shane Siegel. 2 goals each for that pair on the season. Several other Dolphins have gotten into the goal column, 5 other Dolphins with a single goal. But overall on the season, the Dolphins being outscored by the opposition 25-9. So not a favorable goal differential for the College of Staten Island entering today's match with the Redhawks. In contrast to that, the Redhawks come in having outscored opponents 22-15 on the season. And as I mentioned, they will be looking to extend their unbeaten streak to 7 straight this afternoon, led by leading goal scorer Dylan Ruiz, who has 13 goals on the season for the Red Hawks. But taking a look at the roster, they will see Ruiz taking the pitch shortly as the starting lineups are being introduced. And as I get my roster sheets in front of me, I will let you know those starting lineups for both sides, beginning first with the visiting Red Hawks of Roberts Wesleyan College. In goal will be number 1, Jared Gibbons. The rest of the starters for Roberts Wesleyan in numerical order: number 8, Mark Anthony Blackburn; number 9, Justin Robertson; number 16, Hunter Salisbury; number 19, Alex Perez Vega; number 21, Tomas Nagy; number 23, the aforementioned Dylan Ruiz, the leading goal scorer for the Red Hawks; number 25, Ryan Curtis; number 26, Aaron Massey; number 27, Ali Ardle; and number 28, Robert Hines. The head coach for the Red Hawks is Scott Reber. The assistants are Peter Mastrogiovanni, Ty Adoronmu, and Kenny Adoronmu. For the College of Staten Island, their starters in numerical order begins with the goalkeeper, number 1, Omer Hamzasevi. The rest of the Dolphin starters are as follows: number 3, Dennis Cotticelli; number 7, Nilton Gonzalez; number 10, Shane Siegel; number 11, Nicholas Kashenko; number 13, Brandon Figueroa; number 17, Leandro Angulo; number 22, Michael Rofale; number 23, Brian Navarro; number 25, Jamali Peterson; and number 28, Nerman Boljabasic. As I mentioned ahead of the start of today's game, Dolphins captain Daniel Angulo is suspended as a result of picking up 5 yellow cards on the season. And taking a look at Nicholas Kashenko taking the pitch, we haven't seen Kashenko in a while. He has that left hand in what appears to be a cast. So Kashenko playing with a cast on the left hand. We haven't seen him in quite some time. I'm not sure when the last time we saw Kashenko took the pitch is precisely, but if I'm not mistaken, he did pick up a goal the last time we saw him in that match. I believe that was back about a month ago now against Bloomfield, if I'm not mistaken. I'll check the box score for that match and see if Kashenko was indeed one of the goal scorers. He was. Kashenko registered a goal in the 61st minute of that 2-1 Dolphins victory against Bloomfield, and that may have been the last time he played, as I'll take a look at the next match at Queens to see, or I should say, with Queens here, to see if Kashenko got on the pitch. He did not. We'll break for the national anthem. Dolphins and Red Hawks coming up. And we're back here on the ECC Network. Joe Foreman joining you from the press box atop Dolphin Soccer Park. The College of Staten Island gets set to take on Roberts Wesleyan College in an East Coast Conference matchup today. As we get underway in approximately 2 minutes, our scheduled kickoff is at 12 p.m. And taking a look out at midfield, the 2 captains for each side lined up around the head official as the coin toss takes place. And that's Leandro Angulo wearing the captain's armband for the College of Staten Island. During today's match, Mark Anthony Blackburn, the Red Hawks senior, at midfield, along with Angulo representing his team, as the Dolphins huddle in front of their own bench along the near sideline. The Red Hawks are huddled in front of their bench along the near sideline as well. So the Dolphins and Red Hawks just moments away from getting started here at the College of Staten Island. The College of Staten Island comes into today's match with a record of 3-9-1, as I mentioned before, 1-5 in East Coast Conference play. For the Red Hawks, they come in 6-4-2. Within the ECC, they have played to a 3-1-2 mark on the season. And before I introduce the starting lineups, I was going through some of the individual numbers for both sides, mentioning the Dolphins' 2 leading goal scorers, Larry Diggs and Shane Siegel, each with a pair. And for the Red Hawks, it's Dylan Ruiz leading the way by a wide margin with 13 goals on the season to go along with 3 assists. Nathan Ferguson also has 3 goals on the year, and Alex Perez Vega rounds out the 3 goal scorers, the 3 leading goal scorers for this Red Hawks team with at least 2 goals. Perez Vega has a pair on the season as well. And the 2 teams have taken the pitch, and we're about to get started here from the College of Staten Island. The Dolphins wearing their white kits with gray horizontal stripes on their shirts and gray shorts to go along with their Columbia blue socks. Also, Columbia blue sleeves on those Dolphin kits. And very straightforward for the Redhawks. They are wearing black kits with white numbers and a vertical white stripe along the side of their shorts. Also some vertical stripes on their shirts. Those shirts of the Redhawks look to be more charcoal than black, and then the vertical stripes down the front of those shirts are dark black to match their shorts. So just moments away from the start of Dolphins Redhawks here on the ECC Network. The Dolphins will be attacking left to right on your screen to get things started. The Redhawks attacking right to left, as it will be Roberts Wesleyan to possess the ball first. Standing over the ball at midfield is, for a moment, was Dylan Ruiz, and taking his place is Ryan Curtis. And the head official looking down at his watch, getting set to blow the whistle and finally get us underway from the College of Staten Island. Building the suspense here ahead of today's kickoff, and we have a 12:01 p.m. start from Dolphin Soccer Park, as that one is sent all the way down into the box where Hamza Zebi scoops it up. And don't often see matches start that way, as Blackburn sent it a long way to open things up. Redhawks possess it once again. This is Perez Vega with it. He avoids the challenge from Peterson and sends it up the pitch. It's Codicelli getting ahead on it and setting it over the near sideline. Redhawks throw onto the foot of Ruiz into the center of the pitch, where Figueroa is waiting for Staten Island. That's Kashenko for Bolja Basic. Now Angulo. Angulo has his pass intercepted by Artel, and the Dolphins are able to take possession right back off of the interception. That was Blackburn challenging Bolja Basic, but now Navarro has it. Figueroa looking to work around Robertson. He sends it back to Kashenko. Kashenko for Bolja Basic, and Bolja Basic sends one up the near, I should say the far sideline, and it rolls over the touchline out of play for a Redhawks throw. Hines will throw for Roberts Wesleyan. He's taking his time getting to the spot where the throw will be taken, as that ball rolled a long way along that far sideline. It's headed up in the air by the Dolphins and sent back across midfield, now with Staten Island once again, as Codicelli finds Siegel and gets it right back. Codicelli for Peterson. Salisbury got a foot on it. He's challenged by Siegel, who dispossesses him, and the ball is sent into the attacking third for Staten Island. Peterson giving chase, but he is shielded off the ball by Massey, and it's the first touch of today's match for Jared Gibbons. Gibbons sends it out beyond midfield. Codicelli waiting for it alongside Nagy. That was Artel for Robertson. Back to Perez Vega and into the midfield, where Blackburn sends it over to Salisbury and back to the goalkeeper, Gibbons. Gibbons sends one over Peterson, but it's Codicelli waiting for it once again. Codicelli being challenged by Nagy. He sends it up to Siegel. Now, Nagy had it for a moment. He sent it off of a Dolphin. And Salisbury will throw in. Off of the throw, whistle blows, and that was a foul against the Redhawks. It was Robertson taking down Bolja Basic. Bolja Basic has it off of the free kick, and he caught Robertson napping there as the ball rolled right past him onto the foot of Kashenko. And that one was sent out across midfield by Nilton Gonzalez and over the far sideline by the Redhawks. Dolphins throw. Navarro has it. Gives it up to Bolja Basic. He sends it up to Siegel, who redirected it up into the air, but right to Gibbons, waiting just outside of net. Gibbons punts it short of midfield. Robertson and Kashenko colliding over the ball. It's with Boljabasic and now Angulo. Angulo for Siegel. Back to Cotticelli. That one a bit off target, but Cotticelli chases it down. And here come the Red Hawks, as that will not be a threatening attacking play. It rolls right to Hamzazebi. Hamzazebi looking to punt, and he does just that. Sends it a long way up towards Siegel. It's headed by Salisbury, and Cotticelli goes down working against Nagy. Nagy was looking for Ruiz on that pass. The Dolphins intercept and move across midfield, but Staten Island will turn the ball over. And the Red Hawks give it right back as Kashenko intercepted. He now has it along the far sideline. That was Figueroa for Boljabasic, back with Figueroa. And he was looking for Navarro on the through ball. It was knocked away by the Red Hawks, who now possess near the far sideline. Robertson works into the center of the pitch and sends it over to Artel. That one rolls onto the foot of Curtis. And Blackburn sends it back to his defenseman. And now it's with the keeper, Gibbons, once again. Here's Perez Vega. That one trickles over to Salisbury, up to Nagy, but he directs it over the near sideline for another Dolphins throw. Cotticelli throws for Rofail. Rofail looking for Siegel on the through ball. It's knocked away by the Red Hawks and sent across midfield. Ruiz has it, and he was looking for Robertson, who had a lot of turf to work with in front of him. Nicely done by the Dolphins' back line to cut that pass off. This is Figueroa in the midfield, looking for Navarro. That ball off target, and here comes Roberts Wesleyan. This is Figueroa, and a lazy pass there was intercepted by the Red Hawks, and down goes Ruiz as the whistle blows for a foul. The foul assessed to Staten Island. It will be a free kick for Roberts Wesleyan at the 38:50 mark in half number one. Three Red Hawks lined up around the ball right now as we await this free kick. The rest of the Red Hawks lined up near the top of the box in the middle of the pitch as Nagy and Blackburn are positioned over the ball right now. Red Hawks certainly taking their time, as the official may have been working to reposition some of the players near the top of the box. Free kick is a through ball onto the foot of Nagy. They were looking for Ruiz on the pass, and it ricocheted off of his foot. Shot attempted by Artel is wide left. So off of the free kick, that was Blackburn to Nagy on the through ball. And then Nagy looked to send it to Ruiz in the center of the box. He did not receive that pass cleanly. Off of the goal kick, it's headed up in the air toward midfield, and the whistle blows for a foul against Staten Island. Red Hawks are wasting no time. And we have another foul call against Staten Island. This time, the whistle goes against Kashenko. This free kick will be taken a bit wider, but deeper into the attacking third as it's sent toward goal and high by Ruiz on the shot. The Dolphins hardly seemed ready as that was sent right onto the foot of the Red Hawks' leading goal scorer, Dylan Ruiz, and his shot travels high. After spending a lot of time lined up over the ball on their previous free kick attempt, that time the Red Hawks not wasting a moment before taking their free kick, and it nearly resulted in the game's first goal. This is Salisbury along the near sideline. It's taken away by Bolja-Basic. Bolja-Basic sends it over to Rofale. He's dispossessed quickly, and here come the Red Hawks. This is Curtis. He's looking for Ruiz, who's moving forward with some speed and wisely sending it the entire length of the pitch was Hamza Zebi, who came out of the box, charging forward towards Ruiz to make sure that the Red Hawks' leading scorer could not get a foot on it. Two teams both looking to get ahead on it. It's the Dolphins coming away with it. Here comes Figueroa. Peterson for Rofale, and that redirection off target. And there's a turnover in the midfield by Bolja-Basic. Ruiz might get another chance here. He's working against Angulo. His shot gets by Hamza Zebi, but it is wide. The Dolphins goalkeeper unable to get a glove on it, but he didn't need to as the shot was wide. Fortunately so for the College of Staten Island, as you can see early on in this match why Dylan Ruiz is the leading goal scorer for this Red Hawks team. He has been in the middle of just about every attacking play to this point as the ball rolls down toward the corner and over the touchline. It will be a Red Hawks goal kick. Despite the attacking pressure that the Red Hawks have put on the Dolphins so far, we're still looking for our first shot on goal in this match. We're now over 10 minutes in. Gibbons to take the goal kick. And he sends it out toward midfield, headed by Navarro. And then sent across midfield by Massey and back the other way by the Dolphins. Peterson nearly able to get a foot on it, could not, however. And that sets up Ruiz once again. And I think we may have a yellow card. And we do. And for Leandro Angulo, that is now his fifth yellow card of the season. And he picks it up early in this match. Now, I'm not sure that Daniel Angulo is unavailable due to picking up 5 yellow cards or a pair of yellows that resulted in a red in the Dolphins' last match. Did not receive clarification on that ahead of today's match, but if it was for 5 yellow cards, then Angulo, Leandro Angulo that is, has just picked up his 5th. As the free kick is taken wide of the far post, Hamza Zebi punches it away and nearly committed a foul. Did he commit the foul? Is the question. As he punched it toward the outside of the box, didn't get a lot behind the punch, had to chase the ball down to the perimeter of the box, and he was nearing an area where he couldn't use his hands. And it is indeed a foul against the Dolphins, and presumably Hamza Zebi committed that foul. And check that, it looks like it's going to be a throw-in, so no foul charged to Staten Island there. As Ruiz receives the throw-in, he is surrounded by 3 Dolphins. Dolphins looking to clear, having a hard time doing so. And the Red Hawks will regroup around the midfield stripe. Massey looking for Robertson. Codicelli got a toe on it, and he sends it over toward Navarro. Navarro for Peterson. Peterson looking to keep it in. He does. He finds Bolja-Basic, and Bolja-Basic sends it across midfield. Bolja-Basic ends up with the ball back on his foot, and he is fouled by Robertson. Free kick for Staten Island to be taken by Leandro Angulo. Angulo waving Dennis Codicelli up the pitch after he hesitated to take the free kick, and Gonzalez with a poor pass there. Ruiz intercepts. Here's Curtis. Curtis works it toward Center of the pitch for Nagy. Now crosses into the middle of the box. Headed, I believe, by Robertson, but it's rolling toward the near sideline. Cotticelli might have gotten a piece of it as well. Here comes Navarro. Navarro challenged by Ruiz, and that's over the near sideline for a Staten Island throw. Cotticelli will take the throw. And the Dolphins possess for just a moment off of the throw-in, but now the Redhawks have it in the midfield. Rofale gets his jersey tugged, and the official missed that one, no doubt about it. And that sends the Redhawks forward on the attack. Nagy moving ahead, and we have a foul call. The question is, will that be a red card? Looks like it's going to be a yellow, as that was awfully close to denying Roberts Wesleyan the breakaway. And another free kick for Roberts Wesleyan College, this time to be taken in the most dangerous spot yet. They had one just wide of the center of the pitch, about halfway between the box and midfield, then had one that initially I thought would be a free kick down around the corner of the box. Instead, that was ruled a throw, and now a free kick from the center of the pitch, only a few yards outside of the box. And the Dolphins will face a very dangerous set piece upcoming for the opposition. Lined up over the ball right now is Alex Perez Vega, and it looks like he will be the free kick taker for Roberts Wesleyan. The Dolphins with a 4-player wall just in front of the dot. And now Peterson will join his teammates in the box. Here comes the free kick, off the post! And Ruiz chasing down the rebound, could not get a foot on it as Ham Sazebi fully extended toward the post, and the free kick rebounded into the center of the box. Now Jamali Peterson giving chase for Staten Island, and Massey will clear for Roberts Wesleyan, but a quality attempt on the free kick by Alex Perez Vega. His shot is off of the post, and we remain locked in a scoreless tie, but to this point, it has been all Roberts Wesleyan. Throw in for the Redhawks as that was rejected by Gonzalez. Now, whether or not there was intent is at the discretion of the official, and he has the yellow card out. The official has the yellow card in hand, and he waves Gonzalez over. Didn't look like he had much to say to him. Looks like the purpose of waving him over was just to stick the yellow card in his face. And there's another yellow card issued in this match. That makes 3. Leandro Angulo, Nicholas Kashenko, and Nilton Gonzalez all issued yellow cards for Staten Island, and we are not even 15 minutes into the first half. Put CSI in a very tough spot. Those players will need to defend cautiously. The wind causing that ball to roll along the pitch as the free kick is taken on the ground into the box, and Ham Sazebi dives on top of it. We do apologize for our issues with our video feed. From what I've been told, it appears we've lost power. So we'll get that power restored to our camera in just a moment. As unfortunately I don't have our live feed in front of me. I'll pull that up on my laptop right now so I can find out when the video is restored. Until then, I will call the action radio style as a very opportune time for an injury timeout. Of course, you never want to see a player go down, but if we could ever use it here on Sportsnet, it was at this moment, and it is Dennis Cotticelli down at the edge of the box for Staten Island. The clock is stopped at 29:51. And it does appear as if our video is back. So thankfully a short-lived power issue atop the press box. And I think it's a fair assumption that the wind is to blame, as during the pregame, our camera was at risk of being taken down by the wind, as the wind has really not been a factor in most of our matches here at home this season for both men's and women's soccer. Today, it will certainly play a role, as the College of Staten Island notorious for the winds whipping around campus. And every once in a while, you'll hear those wind gusts over the microphone, whether it be on public address outside or up here in the booth with the windows open, perhaps down at softball where we are exposed to the elements completely. And when the action resumes, it will be a throw-in for the Redhawks at the 29:51 mark in the first half. The Dolphins wanted to substitute following the Cotticelli injury. John Tardy is livid right now, as the player he wanted to substitute was not ready to enter the game. So right now the Dolphins are down a player, as Angulo sends one toward Peterson in the midfield circle. He redirects for Figueroa. Figueroa over to Kashenko and up to Siegel. Siegel working along the far sideline toward the middle of the pitch. He's working against Nagy. Sends it back to Figueroa. Figueroa for Kashenko. And Kashenko looking for somewhere to go with it. Sends it to Rofale. Rofale gets caught between a pair of Redhawks, and it will be a Dolphins throw. And the Dolphins will get their substitution for the injured Cotticelli out onto the pitch. It's Tariq Eastman entering the game. Kashenko to throw for Staten Island. He's looking for Peterson, and that one is sent over the touchline for the first corner kick of the match. The corner flag is down, likely as a result of the wind. Shane Siegel to attempt the corner. He sends it near post, headed away by the Redhawks as there weren't any Dolphins in the area. Eastman trying to keep possession with Staten Island, and he does. As Bolja Basic was looking for Navarro on that pass, it is intercepted by the Redhawks, but knocked over the touchline for a Dolphins throw. Throw in taken quickly and headed by Peterson right back over the touchline. It will now be a Redhawks throw. Long throw taken out toward midfield. Ruiz was the intended target. And once again, Staten Island heads it over the near sideline. Salisbury will try on the throw-in once again. He goes long toward Ruiz, and Eastman was waiting. Whistle was blown. I think there may have been a violation on the throw-in by Roberts Wesleyan, so Staten Island awarded the throw. Headed in the air by Salisbury onto the foot of Rofale. Aggressive defense being played by Blackburn against Rofale. Rofale was the victim of a no call earlier when his jersey was tugged and he went down to the turf. As that one is sent a mile high. Rofale redirects right onto the foot of Ruiz, but Eastman able to break up Ruiz's pass. Angulo for Rofale. And now Bolja Basic giving chase, but Curtis is there first. And Ruiz goes down on the foul by Angulo. And Leandro has to be very careful. He already has a yellow card. Dolphins are ready, minus Daniel Angulo. Likely can't afford to lose Leandro. Is that free kick taken quickly? And Ruiz got a bit of a head start. John Tardy pleading for his team to show a sense of urgency. As I didn't see the lines judge throw the flag in the air, but the head official was still getting things set, as the Redhawks did try to sneak a free kick by Staten Island before. It worked, and I thought the officials might allow it again. However, in this case, they did not. And Ruiz is denied the goal-scoring opportunity. Nagy sends one toward the far post, and Massey was charging in towards it. But Hamza gets there first. He rolls one toward Kishenko, who moves up along the far sideline. He's dispossessed by Nagy. Here comes Nagy into the attacking third. Kishenko trying to stay with him, and Gonzalez takes it away. This is Figueroa. Siegel has it. He gives it up to Bolja Basic. Dolphins progress forward, stifled in the midfield, but nearly a great give and go there to turn that around as Figueroa redirected for Siegel, but he couldn't keep it in play as Kishenko commits the foul, and he has to be careful as well. He already has a yellow. We're just over 20 minutes into this first half. Already 3 yellow cards issued to Staten Island. That's Blackburn for Curtis, and the ball from Curtis knocked away by Staten Island. Two teams now fighting for possession, and Gonzalez keeps it away from Ruiz by clearing. And that rolls into the arms of Gibbons, who immediately sends it over to Massey. Massey sends it across the box and then sent up in the air by Perez Vega. Blackburn looking to get it out of his team's zone, but it winds up with Bolja Basic. This is Peterson. Peterson for Navarro. Navarro moving toward the center of the pitch. Navarro looking for somewhere to go with it, finds Figueroa. Figueroa, left-footed shot, saved by Gibbons. That's the first shot on goal for Staten Island. 2 on goal to this point for the Redhawks. Ball sent in the air by Roberts Wesleyan. Peterson working against Blackburn. It's taken by Blackburn and sent over to Perez Vega. Perez Vega up to Ardle, and it's turned over. Now Peterson sends it to Navarro. Navarro, good ball towards Siegel, and Siegel does get there. He bicycle kicks it into the middle of the box, but nobody home for Staten Island on the attack. Redhawks working along the far sideline towards midfield. This is Nagy. Nagy up to Nathan Ferguson, who just checked in. Ferguson into the center of the pitch. Good ball there. Curtis offsides. The flag went up immediately as Ferguson weaving his way through the Dolphins' defense. A great ball for Curtis, right on target. But the Redhawks senior was offsides. Dolphins send it across midfield. It winds up on the foot of Figueroa. Now Peterson right back to Figueroa. And over to Bolja Basic, who can't get a foot on it. Here comes Ruiz, but Hamza has one eye on Ruiz at all times. As anytime the Redhawks' leading goal scorer has tried to make a run, Hamza has come charging off his line. in an effort to get to the ball and clear. Staten Island substitutions as Brendan McGuire checks in. Along with Javier Campos. Throw in taken along the near side. Two teams fighting for possession. And we have a whistle against Ruiz and the Redhawks. Both teams have tried to get a few extra feet when taking their free kicks. The officials have had to reposition the two sides more than once as Campos completely mugs Blackburn. He's whistled for the foul. Blackburn and Perez Vega lined up near the ball. Perez Vega will take the free kick. He sends it up to Ferguson. Ferguson looked to give it up to Salisbury. Not a lot of room to work with along that near sideline. And Angulo will clear it for Staten Island. Throw in taken quickly. Ball sent into the center of the pitch for Blackburn. Back to Massey. Massey looking for Nagy. And that was a handball. Sure looked like a handball. An inadvertent handball by Gonzalez. And what a bad break that would have been for Staten Island. The ball did travel over the touchline first, according to the lines judge, and it'll be a goal kick for the Dolphins. But, boy, that looked a lot like a handball. Not necessarily in the spirit of the rule, but inadvertent handball nonetheless as the Dolphins move across midfield. Boljabasic has it, looking for McGuire, and that one too long. Gibbons looking for somewhere to roll it, and he finds the foot of Perez Vega. Perez Vega sent it right to Navarro, who promptly turns it over. Angulo for Boljabasic. Here comes Campos up along the near side, and he could not keep it in play. Throw in by the Redhawks. Was thrown right back over the touchline. I think the wind definitely took that one as the Dolphins will get another substitution on. It's Stephen Branco entering the game for Staten Island. This is Ruiz. Ruiz looking for Nagy. And the flag goes up for either a foul or a handball because the lines judge pointed in the direction of the Redhawks. The Redhawks were petitioning for a handball on a shot attempt, or at least Dylan Ruiz was. I believe handball was the call. Nonetheless, it's a free kick. This is the third free kick. Make it fourth free kick for the Redhawks in a very dangerous position. Clock is stopped at 18 minutes and 18 seconds in the first half. Still no score between these two sides in this East Coast Conference matchup. Perez Vega will be the free kick taker once again. Whistle blows, free kick taken right down the middle and saved by Hamza Zebi. Good job there by Salisbury to head that one over the touchline immediately. Wasted no time. That allows his squad to get reset defensively ahead of this Dolphins throw. Eastman throwing toward McGuire. And the Redhawks do come away with it, as that is sent a long way. Ferguson camped right underneath it. Ferguson looking to beat Eastman, and Angulo clears. As the flag goes up for offsides, McGuire was still ahead of the back line for Roberts Wesleyan. And now Nagy works against Eastman, who takes the ball away from him quickly. Angulo sends one off the head of Blackburn, and now Blackburn sends one into the box. There's nobody there except for the Dolphins goalkeeper. Hamsazevi punts across midfield, headed in the wrong direction by Salisbury this time. A bad roll may result in a corner, and that is exactly what happens. Tough break there for the Redhawks. Salisbury got the head on it, but it rolled over the touchline. It took a bad bounce off his head, and the Dolphins will have their second corner. Also the second corner overall in the match, as the left-footed Figueroa will take it. The wind looks to be blowing right at Figueroa, maybe a bit more toward goal, so he's going to want to kick this one a bit more to the left than perhaps he's accustomed to. Figueroa trying to bring the ball to rest and having a tough time doing it. Here comes the free kick. Sent toward the far post. Over the head of Kishenko. He got awfully close. And it will be a goal kick for the Redhawks. Kishenko's lone goal on this season came off of a corner kick. He headed it straight into the back of the net. That was a big goal for the Dolphins at the time. It was an equalizer that leveled them with Bloomfield at 1. Dolphins went on to win that match on a Michael Rofail game winner in double overtime. Goal kick sent out toward the midfield circle. Redhawks come away with it, and a poor touch there by Nagy. He appeared to be halfway between continuing forward with possession and sending it over to Ruiz, and as a result, he lost the ball. Both teams once again working along the far sideline, fighting for possession. And it will be Staten Island to throw. Bulger Basic has it. Sends it toward the near side for Branco. Branco couldn't knock the ball down and keep possession as Ruiz charging forward, looking for the recently checked in Johans Tusimi. And Tusimi lost the ball in the midfield, but his team does have it back. And there's an over the back by Blackburn as Ruiz is still chasing this ball down into the corner. Thought the Dolphins would have no problem being first to it, but in the midfield there, Blackburn over the back of Campos. No whistle. Attacking play continued, but the Dolphins do have possession back. This is Campos. Blackburn challenging aggressively, wins possession for Roberts Wesleyan. That one was sent up ahead by Ruiz and over the touchline for another Dolphins throw. Eastman throws for Angulo, and he is going to look to send it ahead. The question is how far? A short way to Branco. Branco back to Angulo. Angulo for Gonzalez. Gonzalez sends it up to Siegel, and waiting there for it was Robert Hines. Dolphins will throw far sideline. Kishenko throws to Siegel. This is Figueroa. Figueroa back to Kishenko, and Figueroa sends it up to Siegel once again. Siegel working against Hines, moving up along the far sideline, lost possession, and that will roll toward the touchline the Red Hawks elect to keep it in play. They send it out toward midfield. Ruiz was there waiting. Kashenko and Gonzalez trying to win possession back for Staten Island. They do. Here's Leandro Angulo up to Campos, and you could see Campos was frustrated with himself. As we have another substitution, it will be Ethan Leonard checking into the game to replace Tomas Nagy. Nagy very active in his 30 minutes plus on the pitch. As the Dolphins have another throw-up coming, Eastman will take it. Eastman throws to Boljabasic, and Boljabasic was being challenged from behind, gave it up, and now Figueroa has it. This is Gonzalez. Gonzalez looking for Siegel. A pair of Red Hawks were waiting. Here's Tusimi, and his pass intercepted. Campos back to Figueroa. Figueroa again for Siegel, far sideline. Siegel now working against Ferguson, being forced to retreat a couple of strides, gives it up to Kashenko. Now Figueroa. Figueroa for Kashenko once again. He might have been thinking long ball, thought better of it, as now Angulo has it, and he's thinking the same thing, looking for Branco, and that ball too long for Branco. Goal kick upcoming for the Red Hawks. 11 and a half minutes to play in the first half. Still no score between the Dolphins and Red Hawks. As early on, it was all Roberts Wesleyan on the attack, the pressure firmly upon Staten Island. But it seems as if the Dolphins have been able to turn down that pressure just a bit over the last 10 minutes or so. And there's the wind knocking that ball down right there. As you have to think it's advantage Dolphins right now in terms of wind, as Ferguson nearly able to get ahead on that ball in between two Dolphins defenders in the back. That would have been trouble. Branco for Angulo. Angulo to Figueroa. Figueroa back to Eastman. Eastman for Boljabasic. Now Branco redirects to Boljabasic. Boljabasic for McGuire, and way too much on that ball. That will roll all the way back toward the touchline, and Gibbons will pick it up, and it's sent over the far sideline. Possession right back with the Dolphins. Short-lived possession there for the Red Hawks, as they do get the ball right back. Ferguson redirecting, and now giving chase is Leonard. Leonard has it. He moves toward the center of the pitch, and I think that was a shot attempt, and once again, the Red Hawks clamoring for a handball. They do not get the call. The attacking play continues with Hines. Hines for Ruiz. He has space, and Boljabasic closes that gap quickly. Ruiz back to Hines. Cross into the center of the box. Branco got a foot on it, could not clear, and Leonard was looking for Artel, didn't get a clean touch, and Roberts Wesleyan will have to reset. This is Perez Vega. Now Salisbury. Salisbury moving forward. He has Leonard along the near sideline. Leonard looking for Artel, and Leandro Angulo with an emphatic clearance. We are now inside of 10 minutes to play in the half. Red Hawks have it along the near sideline. This is Perez Vega across midfield for Leonard. Leonard keeps it in, working against Eastman, and the whistle blows for a foul. Make that a throw-in. Dolphins throw along the near sideline, as I think Figueroa just got spiked in the midfield, and a very quick recovery. The whistle from the official working like medicine for Figueroa. He was right back up to his feet, invigorated by the official's whistle after he went down. Branco sends one toward the center of the pitch. Tusimi working against Figueroa to try and win possession back. He does. Long ball from Perez Vega. Ferguson and Ruiz, the two Red Hawks in the area, as Kashenko lets it roll for a Dolphins throw. Kashenko sends it back to Hamzazebi. Hamzazebi gets rid of it as Ruiz was bearing down on him. Bolja Basic moving forward. Wanted Branco to make the run. Bolja Basic a bit frustrated, as we will have a throw-in for the Redhawks. On the other side of this substitution, Jordan Sullivan checks in, and he replaces Ali Ardle. Perez Vega for Hines. Hines to Ferguson, and that ball wide of the intended target. Dolphins will throw. 7:27 to go in the first half. Still no score in this East Coast Conference matchup. Whistle blows, and this time it will be a free kick for Staten Island. The majority of the free kick opportunities have belonged to Roberts Wesleyan. Once again, the wind playing tricks with the free kick taker. This time it's Kashenko. Sends it short to Bolja Basic, and the Dolphins will send it back to the keeper now. This is Hamzazebi for Angulo. Angulo sends it long. Figueroa, the closest Dolphin. It's headed away by Massey. Here comes Siegel for McGuire. He got pushed from behind, but the ball winds up with Figueroa. Figueroa along the far sideline back to Kashenko. Kashenko sends it back to midfield where Gonzalez is waiting. Gonzalez back to Figueroa. Figueroa working against Ferguson. Now Kashenko. This is Gonzalez. He sends it up in the air. Good ball toward Figueroa. The wind sends it toward the center of the box, and the Dolphins had a man there. Branco and Campos in the area, as the wind really assisted that ball into the center of the box. That one headed away, I believe headed away by Hamzazebi. Ferguson will shoot. The net is empty, and the shot is high. Hamzazebi with a massive sigh of relief as he came out to try and send that ball across midfield, and Nathan Ferguson had a long attempt on the empty net, and he sends it just over the crossbar. Big break for the Dolphins. Missed opportunity for Roberts Wesleyan, as I think we have an injury along the near sideline. We do. It is Branco who is down, and he will be attended to by head athletic trainer Allison Acasio. Clock stopped at 5:35 to go in the first half. Branco will come off following the injury timeout. Patrick Mykut will come in to replace him. Ball headed up in the air right towards Mykut. Mykut has a lot of room to work with. Mykut moves into the attacking third. Now in the center of the pitch. And Perez Vega easily dispossesses Mykut, as Ruiz tried to chip it over Angulo to himself. Could not. Still, it will be a throw-in for Roberts Wesleyan. Not sure if our second microphone is picking it up, but John Tardy growing more and more frustrated along the CSI sideline. And two Dolphins collide over the ball and send it over the touchline. And I honestly don't know how this is a Dolphins throw-in. And I think Scott Reber agreed with me. I don't see any way that it's a Dolphins throw-in, and it is not. It's a free kick for Staten Island. So the ball had not traveled over the touchline yet when a whistle was blown for a foul. Two teams battle for possession in the midfield, and that ball intended for Mykut is too long. Throw in once again for the Red Hawks along the near side. Just over 4 minutes to go in the first half. Once again, the throw in taken toward Ruiz. Dolphins come away with possession. Campos looking for Siegel, and the clearance deflected off of Siegel. But now Ferguson and the Red Hawks move forward on the attack. Kashenko went down, no whistle. And the ball is sent over the near sideline by Staten Island with 3:45 to go in the half. Salisbury to throw. And Figueroa comes away with it off a couple of deflections. Perez Vega tried to go over McGuire, and I do not like that whistle at all. McGuire was simply playing the ball. Perez Vega tried to leap over his back, and McGuire gets whistled for the foul. Clock is still running as we approach 3 minutes to go in the half, and Perez Vega appears okay. He will take the free kick. Also lined up near the ball is Salisbury. This is Blackburn. Blackburn moving forward quickly, and he has Leonard all by himself on the edge of the box. Cross into the middle, and it rolls between several players. I think Ferguson got a foot on it. He did, and it will be a Dolphins goal kick as the lines judge is overruled by the head official. Ferguson got a foot on it, but apparently a Dolphin did in the aftermath as well. So quickly setting up for the corner kick of the Red Hawks. Cross just past the head of Ruiz and cleared by Staten Island. Ruiz certainly had a good shot to get ahead on that ball. Perhaps mistimed the jump just a bit. As 3 Dolphins are working against Robert Hines to try and take possession back for Staten Island. It's Gonzalez coming away with the ball. Figueroa for Siegel. Siegel moving up the far sideline, and Perez Vega right there with him as it rolls over the touchline for a Roberts Wesleyan throw. 1:45 to go in the first half. Still no score. 9 shots to 1 so far in favor of the Red Hawks. As Ferguson giving chase. I'm not sure Gonzalez sees him, and Gonzalez could not win possession back for Staten Island. It's knocked up in the air. Campos waiting in the midfield, heads toward McGuire. This is Maikut charging toward Salisbury. Now Eastman able to send it back the other way. Perez Vega for Tusimi, and now Leonard redirects for Ruiz, and down goes Ruiz as Hamzazebi is taken down by Leonard, and Hamzazebi will stay down. And Perez Vega needing to be restrained by Ferguson. Him and Gonzalez were getting into it, and now the officials will have to intervene as things getting a bit physical between these two teams. Ruiz had space, and Hamzazebi with the sliding tackle took him down. One of the Red Hawks took exception. I think it was Leonard, who then took down Hamzazebi. Perez Vega charged in and had to be restrained by Ferguson. I'm not sure who Perez Vega was going after, but he was unhappy with at least one Dolphin. I believe the yellow card was issued to Hamzazebi. The official yet to show him the card. We're still waiting for official word on who the recipient of this yellow card will be. I would presume that it's going to be Hamzazebi. The official still holding the yellow card, and he will show it to the Dolphins keeper. He'll make that 4 Dolphins who have been shown a yellow card in this match. Make it another free kick for the Red Hawks. The clock stopped at 1:03. So we are about to enter the final minute of this first half. And I'm not sure that Hamzazebi was the only one who received the yellow card. And Leonard got one as well for the retaliation against the Dolphins goalkeeper. So Hamzazebi and Leonard both shown yellow cards in the 45th minute of the first half. Or at least on the official stats, it will read the 45th minute. Officially, based on the clock, the official clock on our scoreboard, the conclusion of the 44th minute sees 2 players receiving yellows. Hamzazebi for Staten Island, Leonard for Roberts Wesleyan. Jordan Sullivan lined up over the ball for this free kick. Most of the Redhawks lined up with the far post. Blackburn in the center of the box near the top of the penalty area. He's in a dangerous spot. Free kick sent right toward Blackburn and knocked away by Staten Island. Sullivan with a nice move to avoid the challenge. He is now facing a pair of Dolphin challenges, looking for somewhere to go, and goal kick is the ruling from the head official. So the Dolphins swarming on Sullivan, and Blackburn was the one on the receiving end of that free kick. He was the nearest Redhawk in a very dangerous scoring position. And the Dolphins will have a goal kick as the clock ticks down inside of 30 seconds to go in the first half. Goal kick sent out across midfield. One last chance, perhaps, for one of these two sides. Looks like the Dolphins will get it. Here comes Campos. This is Maikut. 15 seconds on the clock, and Maikut's cross is headed away. He will throw in with 10 seconds to play in the half. Bulger Basic sends it up in the air. Nearest Dolphin was Campos, and Blackburn comes down with it for Roberts Wesleyan, as we did have a whistle ahead of zeros on the clock, but that whistle will prove inconsequential as Angulo and Blackburn exchanging words. Signal up to the booth is 6. I'll have to pass that along next door as both teams still chirping. Scott Reber having a word with the head official. Leandro Angulo getting a talking to from the lines judge. John Tardy joins the conversation. He will send Angulo back to his bench. Leandro clearly unhappy, as is Robert Hines, and a lot of unhappy coaches and players on both sides to wrap up the first half. So no score at the conclusion of half number 1. We will be back with about 2 or 3 minutes to go ahead of half number 2, bringing you halftime stats, analysis of half number 1, and a look ahead to half number 2. The final 45 minutes of this matchup, an East Coast Conference matchup between the Dolphins and Redhawks on the other side of this halftime break. And we're back here on the ECC Network. The College of Staten Island and Roberts Wesleyan College about to get started in the second half. Still no score in this one. After the Redhawks really controlled play early, they dominated possession and had several quality scoring chances, the best of which came off the foot of leading goal scorer Dylan Ruiz. He sent one just high over the crossbar, and they really did not come close to finding the back of the net again after that. They had a shot attempt by Nathan Ferguson that traveled wide as well, but really not much else other than that Ruiz chance in close that really formed a threatening attacking play for the Redhawks. The Dolphins really even play out during the final 10 or 15 minutes in that first half, slowed down the Roberts Wesleyan attack from that point forward, and that brings us to the second half with the Redhawks leading in shots 9-1 overall. Shots in the first period, or I should say saves in that first half. Staten Island with 2, Roberts Wesleyan with 1. 2 of the 9 Roberts Wesleyan shots are on goal. That's the stat I was looking for. Corners favoring the Dolphins 2-1, and fouls Staten Island 7, Roberts Wesleyan with 5. We also had several yellow cards issued in that first half, 4 against the Dolphins and 1 against Roberts Wesleyan. The 4 Dolphins yellow cards assessed to Omer Hamzazebi, Nilton Gonzalez, Nicholas Kashenko, and Leandro Angulo. The 1 red card for the Redhawks issued to Ethan Leonard. As we did have the head official and the 2 lines judges bring players from both sides together ahead of the start of the second half. One was Nilton Gonzalez, and I think Mark Anthony Blackburn was in that group as well. Not sure what they were discussing, but second half about to get started with the Dolphins possessing the ball first. Larry Diggs into the game for the first time, and making his season debut is Brenny Salas for the College of Staten Island, returning from a broken femur. So it was a long and strenuous rehab process for him. Good to see him back out there on the pitch. Salas was a big part of this Dolphins team 2 years ago, and he makes his 2021 debut here this afternoon. back in 2019. As I mentioned, Salas a key part of this Dolphins team, and he had a goal and 3 assists on the season, appearing in 16 games, starting 3. And right there, he was bearing down on Massey, and Salas active early on, a bit too aggressive there on that challenge as he's whistled for the foul. For Salas, those 16 appearances in 2019 accounted for an appearance in every game of that season. The Dolphins 10-5-1 2 years ago. This is Hamza with it for Angulo. Angulo towards Diggs. Diggs tried to get ahead on it, could not, but off the deflection he had it for a moment and is fouled. So a free kick for Staten Island, just over a minute into the second half. This is Gonzalez for Maikut, over to Kishenko and back to Maikut. Maikut to Boljabasic. Over to Angulo. Angulo up to Diggs. Diggs moving toward the far sideline, and that touch too strong. He sent it over the touchline. Throw in for the Red Hawks. Dolphins on the pitch right now. Salas, Maikut, Diggs, Codicelli, Figueroa, Boljabasic, Eastman, Angulo, Gonzalez, Kishenko, and Hamza in goal. For the Red Hawks, Nagy, Ardle, Ruiz, Curtis, Blackburn, Nassi, Hines, Perez Vega, Salisbury, Leonard, and the goalkeeper Gibbons. Kishenko wins possession for Staten Island in the midfield. And the Dolphins continue to work it around in the neutral zone as Boljabasic sends it over to Angulo. Angulo was looking for Codicelli, and good job there to get ahead on it by Salisbury. This is Curtis. Curtis with Ruiz, the nearest Red Hawk, waiting underneath it. He comes down with possession, looking for somewhere to go with it, as Salas is whistled for a foul once again. So Salas has committed a pair of fouls quickly, getting his first action of the season, his first action in nearly 2 years. As once again, a free kick awarded to Roberts Wesleyan. This is Nagy lined up over the ball. And that one headed toward goal and saved by Hamza. So Nagy with a good free kick there, setting up Ruiz. And Ruiz, unfortunately for the Red Hawks, not able to get much on the header. As Codicelli was moving forward, Diggs wanted the ball, Salas wanted the ball. The Red Hawks take the ball, and now moving across midfield was Leonard. He's dispossessed, and now Maikut heads back in the other direction. Maikut avoids one challenge and sends it over to Salas along the near sideline. Salas for Maikut, and he was pushed, works his way right through it. Maikut running out of space in the corner. His chip up in the air was partially blocked, and it's sent over the touchline by Roberts Wesleyan. And the Dolphins, once again, will have a corner kick. This corner to be taken by Figueroa. Dolphins setting up, aligned with the far post. Corner kick into the center of the box, headed straight down by Nilton Gonzalez, and it bounces over the touchline. Red Hawks goal kick upcoming. Off the header, here comes Nagy. Angulo is there, meets him along the near sideline. Nagy gets away for a moment. Cross is taken by the wind and sent behind the frame. When it comes to shot taking, the wind is certainly benefiting the Redhawks right now, but when it comes to those corner kicks and cross attempts, the wind is sending that ball out of play more often than not. And it's really going to take an adjustment on those cross attempts and corner kicks for the Redhawks to keep the ball in play throughout this second half. Here's Salas. His pass intercepted. He tries to take it back and could not. As that one's over the touchline, throw in for Roberts Wesleyan. Whistle is blown. There is a Dolphin down. That is Nilton Gonzalez seated on the turf. Trainer is waved on. Clock is stopped at 39-12. We saw Dennis Cotticelli go down in the first half. He is back on the pitch here in the second. And Gonzalez will be coming off here. Michael Rofale waiting to enter the game. So, injury timeout just over 5 minutes into the half. Gonzalez hasn't even attempted to get to his feet yet. Has some of his teammates standing over him will help him to his feet, and he will walk off under his own power. So Gonzalez coming off, and Rofale will come on for Staten Island. When play resumes, it will be at the 39-12 mark of the second half. Throw in for the Redhawks to be taken by Robert Hines. And this is Blackburn. Blackburn swarmed by the Dolphins defense, and CSI comes away with it. But they nearly turn it over. Now Ruiz takes it away from Eastman. Here comes Ruiz. Nice move into the box. And he didn't get all of that left-footed shot. Some nifty dribbling by Ruiz created space, but with the left foot, didn't get all of it, and Hamzazevi makes the easy save. Salas looking to cross midfield with possession. It is taken away from him, and now Ardle, swarmed by three Dolphins, gets rid of it. This is Hines. Hines over to Salisbury. Salisbury moving forward into the attacking third, and the Dolphins are whistled for the foul yet again. Another free kick upcoming for the Redhawks. That foul, number 10, against Staten Island. Nagy and Ardle both lined up over the ball. The wind blowing directly towards the Staten Island goal. Should be some assistance on this free kick if the Redhawks look to shoot it. Those Redhawks lined up in the box, aligned with the far post. Here's the free kick. It's on goal and punched over the frame by Hamzazevi. Well, as I mentioned, the wind certainly will be a factor here this afternoon as that one travels toward the crossbar. It is punched away by the Dolphins goalkeeper. And we will have the second corner kick of the game upcoming for the Redhawks. Corner kick takers have had a very tough time getting the ball set in the corner. The left-footed Ardle to attempt the corner toward the far post. Dolphins headed away. That ball rolling toward the far sideline. Waiting for it is Blackburn. Blackburn, cross in front, punched away by Hamzazevi, who was all alone. And all four Redhawks who were in the box, unmarked, were on sides. Wow. Nearly a catastrophic mistake there by the Dolphins as they left their goalkeeper on an island. Here comes Rofale. Gives it up to Codicelli, and it's over the far sideline for a Roberts Wesleyan throw. Redhawks looking to turn up the attacking pressure, much like they did early in the first half. Here comes Ruiz, and that ball intended for Nagy, knocked away by Kashenko. That's Perez Vega for Hines. Back to Perez Vega, working against two Dolphins. Hines sends it toward the middle of the pitch. Curtis gets a head on it for the Redhawks, and unable to keep it in was Leonard. Eastman to throw, finds Maikut, and Maikut just got rid of it in time. He now has possession once again, followed closely by Curtis as Salas was looking for Diggs on that ball. Bulger Basic intercepts just shy of midfield. He finds Rofale with some space to work with. Rofale sends one on one hop into the arms of Gibbons. Moving forward are the Redhawks, and Curtis beats the ball to the touchline. Or did he? I think corner kick is the call. So Gibbons was able to chase it down, but the head official ruling that ball traveled over the touchline, last contacted by a Dolphin. So it will be a corner kick once again for the Redhawks. Corner kick sent toward the far post, headed just high. Ruiz once again right in the middle of the action as that one is headed over the crossbar. Goal kick for Staten Island, but much like the early minutes in the first half, it has been all Roberts Wesleyan to open up the second half. That one sent toward the midfield circle. Curtis got a body on it, and he takes down Figueroa. Second time Figueroa has gone down. Second time he's gotten right up after the whistle as Bulger Basic sent it right over to Ruiz. And look at Ruiz go. He powers through two Dolphins. Sends it into the middle of the box. This is Curtis. Curtis is dispossessed. Nice spin there. Nifty dribbling by Maikut. Looking for Diggs. And getting a foot on it was Nassi, but what an effort by Dylan Ruiz. He powered his way through two Dolphins and tried to set up Curtis in the middle, but Curtis had it taken away from him. Good play by the Dolphins defensively to recover from that mistake that allowed Ruiz to power straight through. This is Leonard. Intercepted by Eastman. Eastman, nowhere to go with it, is dispossessed, but the Dolphins will throw. Blackburn first to it for the Redhawks off of the Staten Island throw. Roberts Wesleyan looking to move across midfield, and the Dolphins are whistled for another foul. Fouls continuing to pile up against CSI. Long ball into the box, headed by Ruiz. What a ball off of the free kick. When you get as many chances as Ruiz has in this game, both those he has created for himself and those created by his teammates, it is no surprise to see him leading this Redhawks team in points and specifically in goals with 13. Here's Maikut moving toward the center of the field. Figueroa trying to beat Nagy to the ball. He just got there in time. This is Codicelli for Diggs. Back to Bolja Basic, and he was looking for Diggs again. Larry looking perplexed that he was getting that ball back. Salas sends it back to Bolja Basic, now Angulo. Angulo up to Bolja Basic, and Bolja Basic hardly able to keep it in. And he was able to do so and send it off of a Red Hawk. Eastman to throw. Throw taken across midfield, off the foot of Diggs and over the touchline. Red Hawks will throw following a substitution. Chase Freeland will check in. He replaces Tomas Nagy. Figueroa and the recently checked-in Freeland fighting over the ball, jockeying for position. Now Freeland ends up with it off the deflected pass. Rofel takes it back. Dolphins may have something brewing here. Here comes Salas. Salas into the center of the box for Diggs. And Massey was there. Excuse me, make that Aaron Massey who was there. Have Nagy and Massey for the Red Hawks. Nagy no longer on the pitch as Ruiz takes it away from Kishenko. His shot is blocked by Bolja Basic. Curtis on the follow. It's kept out by Angulo and cleared by Eastman. And Hamzazebi is down, but what a play by Leandro Angulo. He saved the goal, and the Dolphins keeper is flat on the turf. Was holding his head. And I'm about to get another look at that one on the replay, but once again, Dylan Ruiz right in the middle of a scoring chance, as now it is Kishenko down as well. So 2 Dolphins were down following that last sequence. And that is not Kishenko, my mistake. I think that is Bolja Basic. Kishenko standing a few feet away with the cast on his left hand. That's Bolja Basic who is down. So Ruiz, forcing the turnover, came charging in. The shot was saved by Hamzazebi off the rebound. Angulo able to keep it out. And we await the results of this injury timeout. At the very least, you have to think that Bolja Basic is coming off. He still has not gotten up off the turf. So the shot by Ruiz was partially blocked. And then off of the blocked shot, it was Curtis who fired one toward goal, and once again making a tremendous defensive play for the Dolphins. I've said it time and time again all season long, is today's acting captain Leandro Angulo. And with plays like that, he has earned that neon green armband, or Volt yellow perhaps, more so than neon green. I'd say the goalkeeping kit more neon green than the captain's armband, but either way, Angulo showing why it is he wearing that captain's armband during today's match, and that last play in goal keeping this game even. That being said, the flag did go up for offsides. I'm not sure if that was before or after Angulo kept the ball out, as Ruiz and Bolja Basic exchanging a quick handshake. No hard feelings between the two, as Ruiz continues to make plays, forcing turnovers and generating scoring opportunities for this Red Hawks team. He has been everywhere. The Dolphins have had to focus a lot of attention on slowing him down. So Bolja Basic slowly making his way off the pitch alongside head trainer Allison Ocasio. Nilton Gonzalez waiting to check in at midfield. And Bolja Basic not moving quickly at all. certainly appears to still be a bit shaken up. And they will take him over to the trainer's table as Gonzalez jogs out onto the pitch. So the action will resume with 29:38 on the clock. It was an offsides call that drew the whistle and brought play to a halt. Whether or not that offsides call came before or after Angulo kept the ball out, I'm not sure. I think it had to have come after because Angulo was in goal and the shot was taken by Curtis, who was trailing the play. So Dolphins immediately turn it over, and if Ruiz gets that ball off to Curtis, he has himself a one-on-one with Hamza Zebi. Dolphins struggling to get the ball out of their own zone as the Redhawks continue to swarm. And if this type of attacking pressure from Roberts Wesleyan continues, it is going to be hard to keep them out of the goal column much longer. Redhawks sent it up in the air across midfield. Maiku had gotten ahead on it, now winds up with Angulo, who heads it out toward midfield. Figueroa sends it over to Salas. Salas turns it over, and the Dolphins take it right back. Hines trying to win possession back. He couldn't, as Rofel gives it up to Maikut. Maikut for Codicelli. Codicelli moving into the center of the pitch. He has Diggs. Diggs working against Massey. Nice move by Diggs. He's in. Diggs' shot is just wide over the outstretched arm of Gibbons. Diggs shooting that one from a very tough angle. Not an easy position to score from, but a quality attempt nonetheless, as he put it over the arm of Gibbons, but well wide. And the Redhawks will throw. Ruiz and Eastman are there, and Ruiz had it for a moment, continues to chase the play, as Ferguson, working against a pair of Dolphins, got rid of it. This is Blackburn. Blackburn nearly dispossessed, and once again, Salas is whistled for the foul. So Brenny has already been whistled for a foul on 3 separate occasions in the second half as we approach the 27:30 mark in half number 2. Dolphins moving up the far sideline. Codicelli moving forward with some speed, and he goes down, no whistle. No protest from Codicelli either, as Gonzalez heads it away, but Curtis is there waiting. Curtis heads it toward Ruiz. Once again, Gonzalez gets a foot on it, but the Dolphins still struggling to clear. Eastman, that's Rofel who came away with it. He's met by Blackburn and receives it right back from Figueroa. Rofel for Diggs. Diggs wanted a whistle. He won't get it. He thought he was held. This is Salisbury. Salisbury for Kishenko, knocked away by the Dolphins, and the ball winds up back with CSI in the midfield. Here's Rofel. Rofel for Salas. Couldn't get it there. Dolphins pressing, and it's punted away by Gibbons, but a bad bounce off the head for the Dolphins. Good job there by Eastman, but I'm not sure if Eastman thought it was Staten Island throw, and he let that one roll, as it will be a Redhawks throw along the near side. Johans Tusimi checks back in. He replaces Ali Ardle as the Redhawks possess it off of the throw. Blackburn for Salisbury. He gets to it, able to keep it in. Kishenko could not, as that one was over the touchline and last contacted by Kishenko. So Roberts Wesleyan to throw in once again, far side this time. It's chipped up in the air by Kishenko and now by Maikut. Dolphins still unable to clear as Ruiz is surrounded by Dolphins. That's Freeland Over to Ferguson, back to Blackburn for Ferguson. He has Ruiz, and the ball a bit too long, crossed by Curtis and snagged out of the air by Hamza Zebi. Strong attacking play once again by the Redhawks as they were able to move the ball quickly into a scoring position, and it was the last ball for Ruiz that was just off target. Here comes Curtis. Wasn't sure if he was looking to cross or take it into the box himself, and the Dolphins will concede the corner kick. Rofel did not agree. And this will be corner kick number 3 for Roberts Wesleyan. Once again, the wind blowing directly towards the Dolphins' goal. That corner flag re-erected ahead of this corner kick, taken very long. And once again, you have to think the wind playing a role in that one, as that was not in a dangerous spot at all. Barely in play. And a wasted opportunity on the corner for the Redhawks. Sets up a Dolphins goal kick. Bryant Navarro will check in for Staten Island, replacing Brenny Salas, who gets his first action in nearly 2 years this afternoon. He departs the pitch with his team still locked in a scoreless tie. Not sure if we'll see him again today, but he got a nice round of applause from his teammates and Dolphins supporters in attendance. They know what getting back on the pitch meant to him and this team. As the Redhawks move forward on the attack once again, Tusimi's shot is wide. Not much behind that shot. And Hamza Zebi was able to watch it roll wide to his right. As we'll have another Dolphins goal kick inside of 23 minutes to go in the second half. And a costly turnover there as Curtis has it, working against Angulo. His shot is high and wide. Dolphins turn it over. Tusimi finds Curtis. And once again, Curtis unable to put that shot on target. Hamza Zebi sends it short for Angulo, putting a lot of trust in his backer. As we have a whistle. And they will force the Dolphins, I believe, to attempt the goal kick again. Maybe they got set up too quickly. I'm not exactly sure what the reason was for that, but Hamza Zebi sends it long. It is sent over the near sideline by Roberts Wesleyan, so the Dolphins will throw in. Dolphins haven't spent much time on the attack in the second half. Really haven't spent much time attacking in this match. As Eastman throws in. Gets it back from Maikut over to Rofel and up to Maikut. Maikut for Rofel. Rofel over to Diggs. Diggs sends it to Kishenko. Kishenko up to Codicelli. Codicelli being forced toward the sideline. Nowhere to go with it. And he sends it off of Curtis for a Dolphins throw. Kishenko with a throw towards Diggs and Maikut. But it ends up rolling back out across midfield for a Redhawks throw. Ruiz has room. He and Ferguson working 2-on-3. And Navarro has it for Staten Island, but Ruiz all over him. Ferguson trying to help, and Ruiz commits the foul. No protest from Ruiz, as the Dolphins will take a free kick inside of 20 minutes and 30 seconds to play in half number 2. Free kick sent to the other side of the pitch for Kishenko. He's looking for Diggs. Diggs is on sides, or is he? And the flag is up. Diggs is down. He can't believe it. And by it, I'm referring to the offsides call. And I have to agree with Diggs on that one. He looked to be lined up well with the backers for the Red Hawks. As the clock was stopped, Diggs stays down. Jamali Peterson heading over to midfield. Looks like he might check in here. The trainer was not waved on. The clock was stopped at 19:57. And Diggs will remain in the game. We'll see if Peterson is still set to check in. Free kick for Roberts Wesleyan at 19:57. And that is sent out across midfield. Winds up in the attacking third for the Red Hawks, and Navarro able to chase it down. Dolphins trying to keep it away from Tusimi and Ferguson, as Tusimi charges right into Navarro. Dolphins concede the throw, as we will have substitution. Tomas Nagy checks back in for the Red Hawks. He replaces Dylan Ruiz. So Ruiz checks out with just over 19 minutes to play in this match. We'll see when he gets back into this one. I would presume we'll see him again. As that's sent into the box, knocked down by Nagy. Dolphins wanted an offsides. They don't get it. Angulo clears. And it looked like the lines judge pointed in the direction of Roberts Wesleyan instead. I think the Dolphins did get the offsides flag they wanted. And it will be a free kick for CSI. Angulo sends one a long way out across midfield. That's sent back across midfield by the Red Hawks, and the Dolphins come down with it. This is Kashenko for Rofail. Rofail switches play toward the near sideline for Navarro. A good touch there, but played nicely by Hines. Diggs one-on-one with the keeper, and that is saved into the back of the net by Gibbons. What a turnaround for the College of Staten Island. Navarro with a great touch. Hines was there, but it was sent back right onto the foot of Diggs, who puts it off the glove of Gibbons and into the net for the first goal of this match. The College of Staten Island has taken a 1-0 lead with 18-17 to play in the second half. For Diggs, that is his team-leading third goal of the season. And it came seemingly out of nowhere off the touch by Navarro. Hines played it well, but instead of getting a foot on it himself, it rolled right onto the foot of Diggs. I'm going to get another look at it on my screen in just a moment. The live feed is just a bit behind. So I'll get another look in just a moment. I think the only question is, did Navarro get an assist or not? And I would presume he did not, as that was just a turnover by Hines. He passed it right to Diggs. Hines played the touch well by Navarro, but then an ill-advised pass. So if anyone gets an assist on that, it's Robert Hines. What a costly turnover by the Red Hawks. Really hard to believe that Hines made such an errant pass, but he did. That's just a poor play by Hines, and a very costly one at the moment. So the Red Hawks dominating time of possession, accounting for most of the attacking play, trail by a goal. Their 6-game unbeaten streak is on the line. The Dolphins came in losers of 3 straight, winless in their last 4. what a huge win this could be for the College of Staten Island, and a very disappointing loss for the Redhawks if CSI can hold on. This is Tusimi working against Gonzalez, and it was last touched by Gonzalez. Given the amount of chances that Roberts Wesleyan has had so far, certainly cannot write them off. They will definitely get another chance, and it might come right here as Angulo is forced to clear. That throw-in taken right into the box, and unsurprisingly, the Redhawks wasting no time, sending Dylan Ruiz back out onto the pitch. Their leading goal scorer comes off, and immediately a catastrophic miscue puts them behind. As this throw-in is taken into the box once again, sent up in the air by Angulo. Perez Vega waiting for it. That's Salisbury chipping it up in the air, headed again by Angulo. Headed down by Maikut. Ruiz was close, couldn't get a foot on it. He's still pursuing the play as Ham Sazebi, I think he punched Ruiz in the back of the head. Play is stopped. Ham Sazebi is down again. I think he tried to punch the ball away, which was certainly the intent, and I think he caught Ruiz in the back of the head. However, it's Ham Sazebi who was down, lying flat on his back in the box, surrounded by 4 teammates and the head official. The clock has been stopped, so no time is ticking off the clock. .36 to go in the second half. Dolphins now with a 1-goal lead. And Ham Sazebi is back to his feet. As I mentioned during the pregame, the last Dolphins win came back on Saturday, October 9th at Deauville. A 1-0 Dolphins win. That win is also their lone win in conference play this season. They're looking to make it 2 wins against the East Coast Conference with a victory over the Redhawks today. And you know Roberts Wesleyan has something to say about that. Chances for them have been plentiful throughout this match. It hasn't been one concentrated spurt. It has been consistent attacking pressure placed upon the Dolphins by this Redhawks attack. Unfortunately for Roberts Wesleyan, they have not been able to convert any of their chances into a goal yet. Dolphins have it across midfield, and Maikut's taken down by Ferguson. Eastman will take the free kick. Sun beginning to shine over Dolphin Soccer Park. Haven't seen much sunlight this afternoon. As that's sent up in the air by the Redhawks. Headed by Eastman. Ruiz just waiting for Eastman to make contact so he can make a run after that one. John Tardy beside himself that Diggs didn't chase after that ball. As that's sent toward Ruiz, headed by Kishenko over the touchline, and it will be a Redhawks throw as we approach 14:30 to play in the second half. This is Diggs once again. Diggs for Rofail, and that one nearly got by Massey and over to Codicelli. Instead, the Redhawks looking to counter. This is Ferguson. Cleared by Navarro, and it will be a throw. Pau Guillaume Marçal has checked in for Roberts Wesleyan. For Guillaume Marçal, it's his first action of the match. Another throw into the box, this time taken by Ferguson. Ruiz looking to turn. That's headed up in the air by Gonzalez, and Ham Sazebi has it. Ham Sazebi got the start for the College of Staten Island in goal early in the season. I believe got the start through the first few matches and then was replaced by Bugari Sissoko. And now for the last couple, it's been Hamza back in net for Staten Island. And he's had himself a good day against the conference rival in today's match. Is now 13 minutes away from a shutout on his record. Both teams jockeying for possession along the far sideline, and it's sent over the touchline by CSI. Headed up in the air by Ruiz, and he receives it back on the redirect. Ruiz trying to find some space for a shot. He couldn't. Blackburn fires, and his shot is blocked. Here comes Navarro. Navarro along the near sideline, met by Blackburn, but Navarro maintains possession. Looked like Ferguson might have gotten a hand on it as the clock is stopped. And I think that's Nilton Gonzalez who's down. Had a lot of stoppages for injured players so far in this match. For Hamza coming in, he appeared in 6 games and started all of them. So this will be appearance and start number 7 in today's match. He's allowed an average of about 3.5 goals per game, saving just under 71% of the shots he has faced. He's allowed 16 goals in his 6 appearances so far in 2021. As the Dolphins will send Jamali Peterson back onto the pitch. Peterson on and Eastman off. And that appears to be the only substitution for Staten Island. Navarro will throw at 12:26 to play. But we'll have to wait just a few seconds longer as Navarro's throw is knocked over the touchline by the Dolphins, and now Redhawks throw. It's Guillaume Marzal who throws, and Peterson gets to it in the midfield for Staten Island. This is now Tusimi heading in the other direction. Tusimi for Ferguson. Ferguson was looking for Ruiz, but Ruiz sends it back to Tusimi. Now Blackburn for Nagy. Nagy crosses for Ferguson. It's right on target. Chipped up in the air and knocked away by Maikut. This is Massey. Massey finds Ruiz. What a pass! Ruiz's shot is over the outstretched arms of Hamza and into the back of the net. What a ball to Ruiz by Massey. Aaron Massey with a pinpoint pass to his forward, Dylan Ruiz. And Ruiz adds to his team-leading goal total. He now has 14 on the season, and that is the equalizer that Roberts Wesleyan was looking for. They have evened up the score at 1. A tremendous attacking play by the Redhawks has evened things up with 11:40 to go in the second half. A costly miscue by Roberts Wesleyan allowed CSI to get on the scoreboard first, and you know this loss would have left a very sour taste in the mouths of the Redhawks should they have fallen 1-0, but now an equalizing goal has energized this Redhawks team as they look to add to it right here. Ferguson gets around Figueroa, and Ferguson took exception to that challenge. Referee has the yellow card in hand. It looked like he was showing it to Gonzalez, but it was Figueroa involved in that play. That had to be Figueroa, because if that was Gonzalez, his day is done. So Figueroa is shown the yellow card. Free kick for the Redhawks, deep in the attacking third along the near sideline. Alex Perez Vega to take it. Free kick sent into the center of the box, headed away by Angulo. Sent up in the air by Peterson. That one rolls toward the far sideline on the hop. And the Redhawks will throw inside of 11 minutes to play. Ruiz working against Codicelli. Codicelli all over him. Ruiz looking for somewhere to go with it, and Codicelli takes it away. Good defensive play there by the Dolphins freshman, as CSI will draw the foul. Going down was Maikut. This is Rofale. Over to Kishenko. Kishenko up to Navarro and back to Kishenko. Kishenko for Maikut. Now Navarro. Navarro looking to get by Tusimi. He could not. And Tusimi will throw. He's looking for somewhere to go with it. Instead, will allow Guillaume Marzal to throw in. Tusimi instead receives the throw in, and it's deflected over the touchline by Staten Island. So Dolphins will concede another corner kick. This corner will give the Redhawks a 4-3 advantage in that department. The right-footed Nagy will take this corner. And the whistle is blown as the two teams were not yet set. The head official wants a word with Diggs. And I believe Ruiz as well. Oftentimes you see a left-footed kicker attempting the corners from this side. But with the wind a factor, the right-footed Nagy attempts the corner, and it's cleared away by Angulo for a Redhawks throw. Blackburn receives the throw, wants to cross, and Figueroa is there to clear, but space to shoot, and the shot is saved by Hamzazebi, followed in by Ferguson off of the rebound. Was he onside? No, he was not. So Ferguson making a bid to tie the score, and he is ruled offsides. He could not believe it, as the initial shot attempt was taken by Freeland. Ferguson is ruled offsides. He was in the midst of a goal celebration, but the head official immediately telling him to get back defensively, as he is ruled offsides. The score remains even at 1 per side, and Ferguson heads back the other way yet again. That one redirected by Nagy for Tusimi. Peterson will let it roll, and it will be a Dolphins goal kick. And there's no doubt, watching these two teams battle through the final 10 minutes now, that last goal scored by the Redhawks has energized this Roberts Wesleyan club. They want to see this game end in regulation, as they have turned up the pressure since their first goal. It was Gonzalez clearing for Staten Island right there. The Redhawks will throw in with 7:20 to play in the half. The throw headed up in the air by Figueroa, headed again by Kishenko. This is Figueroa. Figueroa sends it into no man's land. Diggs once again looked baffled as to what his teammates were trying to do. And the Dolphins allow this one to roll past their back line onto the foot of Ferguson. The shot is saved by Hamzazebi. Kishenko was there challenging. It was a tough angle for Ferguson. And off of the save, I think we have another corner kick. And if so, that's a tough bounce for the Dolphins. And it will be a corner kick to be taken by Tusimi. So Johans Tusimi will attempt a corner inside of 6:30 to play. This brings the Redhawks' corner kick total to 5. That corner sent toward the far post, headed straight down by the Redhawks, and Navarro has it taken away by Tusimi. Maikut then takes it back, retreats a few strides, and the Dolphins now playing keep away in the corner as Maikut was shoved down, and he does get the whistle for the foul. Free kick to be taken by Leandro Angulo. Inside of 6 to play in half number 2. Angulo's free kick sent out toward midfield. Headed up in the air by Perez Vega. And Tusimi now working against Peterson, trying to take possession. It's Jamali who comes away with it. Peterson sends it over to Navarro. Navarro for Maikut. Maikut looking to send it across the pitch where Codicelli moves in towards it. He heads it down, takes possession, moves into the center of the pitch, and a good sliding tackle there by Perez Vega. Follow-up shot by Rofael is saved. And immediately, Gibbons sends it out toward midfield, where Peterson is there to meet Nagy. Nagy will try again against Peterson. He's taken down on the tackle attempt, but Jamali is whistled for the foul. And it will be a free kick once again for the Red Hawks. That foul, number 13 against Staten Island, as Ruiz receives the free kick on the fly. It's knocked away by Staten Island. And Guillaume Marzal sends it up to Ferguson. He was looking for a give and go. And it's broken up by Kishenko. Throw in by Ferguson for Ruiz, headed away by Rofael. Now Figueroa sends it up to Maikut. Maikut looking to work through a couple of challenges. He goes down, whistle blows, foul called. Dolphins free kick right at the midfield stripe with just over 4 minutes to go. Angulo to take the free kick for Staten Island. And he sends it into the box where Peterson was waiting. Peterson is dispossessed. And now Ruiz looking to turn against Angulo. And a great tackle there by Angulo as the advantage is being played. Ruiz didn't like that Angulo kept the foot down to try and prevent him from making a run off the ball. The throw-in is taken by the Red Hawks. Now Perez had it in the midfield. Sent it over to Guillaume Marzal. Kishenko for Gonzalez. Now Rofael to Maikut. Maikut nearly had it taken away by Blackburn. Instead, he finds Codicelli. Codicelli for Diggs. Now Peterson. Peterson with a cross in front. Not handled cleanly, but Navarro overran the play. If he's there for the rebound, it could be trouble. Rofael was looking for Maikut. It's broken up. Here comes Gonzalez. Gonzalez for Figueroa. Figueroa back to Maikut. Maikut lost it, and Tusimi has it. Tusimi for Ruiz. Ruiz working against Kishenko. He finds Guillaume Marzal, who's moving in and has his cross broken up by Gonzalez. Corner kick number 6 coming up for the Red Hawks, just outside of 2 minutes to play in the second half. We have seen plenty of overtime soccer this year at Dolphin Soccer Park. And these Dolphins home matches have not been short of excitement. And we have another good one here on the ECC Network for our viewers this afternoon. Corner kick sent right into the middle of the box where Angulo heads it away. Nagy will try again, this time toward the far post, and headed right into the arms of Hamsazevi. Both Massey and Ferguson were there. I think it was Ferguson who got the head on it as he made a scoring bid once again. Clock ticks down inside of 1:30 to play as Hamsazevi sends it out toward the midfield stripe. Tusimi got a foot on it. It's now with Ruiz. Here comes Nagy. He had space, but Kishenko does a good job to get a foot on it and cut off the angle. As Hamsazevi taking his time handling this ball with just over 1 minute to play. This is Maikut into the center of the pitch. Up to Figueroa. Figueroa for Navarro. Navarro looked to get it back to Figueroa. It's knocked away by Blackburn. It will be a throw-in for the Dolphins. Whistle blows. And Brendan McGuire was waiting at midfield along with Shane Siegel looks like they may have to wait for a potential overtime. Dolphins hoping it doesn't get that far as Diggs has it again off the header, knocks that one down. No way that's a handball. As it looks like advantage is being played. I think they did get Diggs for a handball. I thought he got the body on it. But regardless, possession with the Redhawks. 22 seconds to play. Peterson has it in the midfield. Now Figueroa, 15 seconds to play, looking for Diggs. And once again, it was muffed. And the goalkeeper, Gibbons, nearly using his hands outside of the box. That could have been catastrophic for the Redhawks. But as it stands, we are headed to overtime. The score knotted up at 1 between the College of Staten Island and Roberts Wesleyan College. When we come back from this short break, the first of 2 10-minute overtimes, if necessary. Golden goal rule in effect. First score wins it for either side. More NCAA Division II men's soccer when we return here on the ECC Network. And we're back here on the ECC Network. Overtime number 1 about to get started between the College of Staten Island and Roberts Wesleyan College in this East Coast Conference matchup. The Dolphins looking for their second conference victory of the season, and Roberts Wesleyan hoping to extend their unbeaten streak to 7 straight games. For the Redhawks, they came in red hot. In the ECC, they are 3-1-2 on the season, so they're looking for their 4th victory in conference. And the Dolphins do factor into the conference standings, so even though the Dolphins cannot qualify for the postseason, these games against CSI mean plenty to the opposition. And they certainly are not coming into Dolphin Soccer Park and taking this Dolphins team lightly. And the College of Staten Island has given a very good accounting of themselves once again here this afternoon and have had their hands full with Dylan Ruiz, the leading goal scorer for the Redhawks. He has been everywhere on the attack for Roberts Wesleyan. And ahead of the start of this first overtime, some very quick stats from the first 2 halves of play through the end of regulation. Shots on goal 12-3 in favor of the Redhawks. Shots overall 23-3 in favor of the Redhawks, but a costly turnover by Roberts Wesleyan leading to the only Dolphins goal. Larry Diggs netting his team leading 3rd of the season, giving the Dolphins a 1-0 lead at the time. But shortly thereafter, the Redhawks getting even on a goal by Ruiz. A tremendous pass on that goal as well from nearly midfield, as it was Aaron Massey who assisted the goal for Ruiz. And for Ruiz, that was number 14 on the season. And looks like the Dolphins had to retrieve a ball from the far sideline, but they will get things underway with the first possession of overtime number 1. Golden goal rule in effect. First goal wins it for either team. Brendan McGuire has checked in to open up the first overtime for Staten Island along with Shane Siegel. Dolphins out on the pitch. McGuire, Siegel, Peterson, Figueroa, Maikut, Codicelli, Rofel, Angulo, Kishenko, Gonzalez, and the goalkeeper, Hamza as that ball is sent up toward Peterson and cleared over the near sideline by Pau Guillaume Marzal. Dolphins will throw as Nicholas Kishenko trots down the sideline to attempt the throw. He throws it into Maikut, who is immediately whistled for the foul against Jordan Sullivan. Alex Perez-Vega takes the free kick, sends it across midfield where it's headed by Codicelli onto the foot of Maikut, and it winds up with Freeland. McGuire trying to take it back for CSI. He can't. And now Nagy has room, charging up the far sideline against Codicelli. He moves toward the center of the pitch, fires a shot, saved by Hamza Zebi. And it was key that Hamza Zebi handle that rebound cleanly because he had Ferguson right in front of him waiting to put the rebound past him. Here comes Peterson. Across midfield, he finds Maikut. Maikut over to Rofel. Rofel for Siegel. Siegel could look to cross here. He moves into the box, has it knocked away from him, fires a shot, or at least what I believe was a shot. over the near sideline. That one not even close. Peterson was the nearest Dolphin, and the Red Hawks will throw in. Guillaume Marzal to throw, and his throw is headed over the near sideline by Sullivan. Now Koshenko will try a throw in for Staten Island. Koshenko for Peterson. Peterson challenged by a pair of Red Hawks, and that pass by Ferguson was partially broken up by the Dolphins, but now Ruiz and Nagy were on the attack, and if they show Leandro Angulo the yellow card here, his day is done, and he's very fortunate, as Angulo has been whistled for at least 2 or 3 fouls after being issued that yellow card early in this match. I believe he was the first yellow card that was shown in this match. And double checking, it was Leandro Angulo who was issued the game's first yellow card at the start of the 12th minute. And there are 5 Dolphins out there playing with a yellow card right now. Every one of them is on the pitch. Angulo, Koshenko, Gonzalez, Hamza-Zebi, and Figueroa. Perez Vega takes the free kick, headed toward goal, and saved by Hamza-Zebi. Aaron Massey already has an assist, was making a bid to score there. As the Dolphins move it across the midfield stripe and back in the other direction, this is Maikut against Ferguson. And that's clearly a foul against Ferguson, no question about it. Free kick for Staten Island. Koshenko lined up over the ball to take the free kick. He sends one up toward Peterson. Peterson there waiting for it. He will send one into the box, and on goal, saved by Gibbons. This is Perez Vega toward Ruiz and headed down by Gonzalez. Here comes Maikut up towards Siegel, who is the nearest Dolphin. Cleared away by Gibbons. Could not use the hands there as he had exited the box. Ball now with Hamza-Zebi. Gonzalez. Koshenko up to Maikut. Sullivan right behind him. Back to Gonzalez. Over to Koshenko, and I'm not sure if that's what Koshenko wanted to do there, as he sent it straight up in the air. Fortunately for the Dolphins, it's Peterson moving forward. Peterson charging up the near sideline into the attacking third. He works his way toward the middle of the field and switches play toward the far sideline for Codicelli. Codicelli now trying to move toward the middle of the field. Instead gives it up to Siegel. Siegel chips it up in the air. Peterson there waiting. And Guillaume Marzal able to send it around Peterson and up the pitch where Ruiz is offsides. Or at least I believe that was the call. And yet another Dolphin shown the yellow as Peterson is issued a yellow card. 6 Dolphins out there on the pitch now playing with a yellow card. Free kick upcoming for the Red Hawks once Perez Vega gets the okay from the official. We still await the free kick, and there it is. Sent toward the top of the box. Ruiz is right there. He redirects for Ferguson, and coming away with it are the Red Hawks. Sullivan has room. His shot is blocked by Gonzalez. A good defensive play there by Gonzalez, as that was turning into a dangerous attacking play very quickly. Guillaume Marzal to throw. He has Ruiz. Ruiz working against a challenge, gives it up to Guillaume Marzal and turns it over. He now has space. He finds Nagy. Nagy wants to shoot, gives it up to Blackburn. He sends it over to Sullivan. Sullivan's shot is blocked once again, and the Dolphins are able to clear. And Siegel got a Poor touch there, sent it straight up into the air. But the Redhawks are whistled for the foul, and the Dolphins narrowly escaping that last sequence tied. 13 shots on goal for Roberts Wesleyan. This is Angulo for Peterson, and you can see the wind knocking that ball down. As Peterson still able to come away with it, chasing it down. He has it, sends it towards McGuire, and it's cleared away by the Redhawks. That will bounce over the far sideline. Dolphins throw up coming. Off the throw, it's Rofail. Rofail moves into the attacking third. He gave it up to Maikut. Now Siegel. Siegel looks to cross. And on the attempted pass for Rofail, the Redhawks break it up. The ball back up in the air onto the foot of Cotticelli. It lands right with Ruiz, and that's not the place you want the ball to be. Ruiz with a great ball toward Nagy. He has space. Fires a shot, and it is wide. Gonzalez was there in front of Nagy, and that forced him to push the shot wide of the far post. No room to put it along the near post. And the Dolphins did a good job to manage the open space on that last attacking play well. Goal kick upcoming for CSI. Hamza-Sebi to take it at approximately 2:40 to play in the first overtime. Hamza-Sebi's goal kick doesn't reach midfield. Once again, the wind gets the best of that ball. Here comes Ruiz as he beats Gonzalez to the inside. Now looks to work back outside of Gonzalez. Tries to cross, and he sent it off of Kishenko for a corner kick. And the dribbling skill of Ruiz is top-notch as the Dolphins just can't take it away from him when he gets the ball down around the box. It's either a shot attempt or concede a corner. As that is sent onto the foot of Sullivan again and wide. Down goes a Dolphin. That was Angulo. Hard to believe Sullivan had that much space. As the Dolphins got a piece of it. And it will be another corner for the Redhawks. 1:45 to go in overtime number one. Sullivan will try the corner this time. On one hop, Angulo got a foot on it, but Blackburn was there. Now Sullivan able to keep it in play. He was looking for Freeland. Siegel able to clear. Guillaume Marzal chips it up in the air. And coming down with it was Salisbury. Giving chase is Ferguson. The Dolphins let him get to it. What were the Dolphins doing on that play? I'm not sure why they allowed Ferguson to charge straight through and take possession. I'm not sure if anyone knew he was there or if it was just an oversight by the Dolphins defensively. Fortunately, the wind helped carry that cross attempt out of play as the wind continues to whip, especially down around the Dolphins' goal. Under a minute to play in overtime number one. Hamza-Sebi to take the goal kick. He sends it out across midfield, headed by Massey. Redirected by Sullivan and headed again by Rofail. Maikut sends it up to McGuire. McGuire looking for Peterson. Peterson giving chase. And Guillaume Marzal will let it roll over the near sideline. He got the last touch on it, so the Dolphins will throw with 16 seconds to go in the overtime period. This is Kishenko. John Tardy urging Kishenko to send it in. He could not. And we will head to a second overtime on the other side of this short break. 2 minutes on the clock, and when the clock strikes zero, I will rejoin you for the final 10 minutes of this match between the Dolphins and the Redhawks. East Coast Conference NCAA Division II men's soccer exclusively on CSI Sportsnet and the ECC Network. Our thrilling conclusion after this break. And we're back here on the ECC Network. Dolphins and Redhawks headed to a second overtime period, knotted up at 1 goal per side. Quick look at some stats from the first 10 minutes of overtime. For the Dolphins, 2 shots in the first overtime period, 5 for the Red Hawks. And in regulation, the Dolphins only had 3 shot attempts, so 2/3 of that in that first overtime period. But shot advantage has been distinctly in favor of Roberts Wesleyan to this point. Overall for the game, shots favor the Red Hawks 28-5. Shots on goal 14-4. As I'm not sure if our second microphone picked it up, but the Dolphins coming out of their huddle energized ahead of the second overtime period. They will be attacking with the wind this time. First time since half number 1 that CSI will be moving in that direction on the attack, and you have to think that favors them moving forward. Certainly easier to send the ball long with the wind rather than against it. And we've seen the wind wreaking havoc on corner kicks and some cross attempts for both sides, specifically whoever is shooting to the right of midfield. Redhawks will possess it first in overtime number 2. Dylan Ruiz positioned over the ball at midfield. And the clock begins to wind down from 10 minutes to play in this second overtime. If neither team can score in the next 9:48, this match will end in a draw. And the Redhawks look like they will get the first chance as Nagy fires one on goal, and it is saved by Hamza Zebi on the dive. What a save by the Dolphins keeper to keep his team in this one. And a good bounce for CSI off the save as it was knocked over the touchline by the Redhawks, and CSI is awarded the goal kick. It didn't take Roberts Wesleyan long to get a high-quality chance in overtime number 2 as they forced Hamza Zebi to make a diving save. Dolphins looking for an opportunity of their own, but the Redhawks do take possession back before quickly turning it over. And now here comes Siegel. Siegel fires a shot off the fingertips of Gibbons and over the crossbar. The Dolphins nearly coming up with a golden goal of their own right there, as Gibbons saw it roll off the fingertips. And if he's about a foot forward in goal, that one rolls into the back of the net. What a start to overtime number 2, as both teams have had tremendous scoring chances. Here comes the corner kick. It is sent long toward the far post, and that's over everybody, as once again the wind taking that ball and sending it over the touchline, as no Dolphin ever had a chance to get a head or a body on it. Clock winds down towards 8 minutes to play. That's Maikut, Siegel for Figueroa. Now Peterson looking to cross instead, will try to move in, and conceding the corner was Pau Guillem Marzal, and the Dolphins will have a chance to attempt a corner from the other side. Figueroa will attempt the corner, center of the box. Looked like it was off the foot of a Dolphin. We'll see. And it sure was, as I think Nilton Gonzalez got a toe on it. Unfortunately, no more behind it than that. And he was unable to redirect on goal as the Redhawks will throw. Curtis heads it toward the middle of the pitch as Ruiz is taken down. Not much of a need for that, as the Dolphins concede the free kick inside of 7 minutes to play. Long free kick sent toward Ruiz. A good ball for Ruiz. He's working against Cotticelli. He has a distinct size advantage. He muscles Cotticelli off the ball. Curtis in the box, looking for room to shoot, can't find it. And he is forced to retreat out of the penalty area. The Dolphins will be awarded the goal kick, and a great recovery there by Staten Island defensively, as Ruiz was able to shoulder Cotticelli right off the ball. He charged into the box, gave it up to Curtis, but Curtis couldn't do anything with it. Hamza Zebi with the goal kick. It's out across midfield. Red Hawks take possession. Here comes Sullivan. Sullivan for Ruiz. Ruiz enters the attacking third. Gives it up to Guillaume Marzal. Cross in, headed by Codicelli, and it rolls over the touchline for a Red Hawks throw. We are now inside of 6 minutes to play as Curtis now moves in. Curtis has a shot blocked. Kishenko chips it up in the air, and Peterson is waiting for it along the far sideline. He will clear as McGuire might have a chance to get there first, working against Massey, and Massey is able to clear. Maikut, though, follows the play. He has a chance to perhaps cross, and he gives it away. Not doing much with that possession was Maikut, as it will be Dolphins' ball on a throw. Clock winds down towards 5 minutes to play. Kishenko will throw in for Staten Island. His throw for Peterson, who looks to turn. Tried to send one into the box. It's broken up by Massey. Waiting for it was Figueroa. And now the Red Hawks looking to cross midfield with possession. As Nagy is the intended target on that ball, he keeps it in. Nagy crossing toward the far post, and that ball too long for Curtis. Goal kick for the Dolphins. 4.5 to play in overtime number 2. A draw will extend the unbeaten streak of Roberts Wesleyan. It will extend the Dolphins' winless streak to 5. Dolphins trying to bring an end to that winless run. Also a 3-game losing streak for Staten Island entering play today. Looking to bring that to an end as well. Two teams exchanging headers back and forth as Peterson finally comes away with the ball. He gives it up to Figueroa. Figueroa for Maikut. Maikut moves into the attacking third. Now working against a pair of Red Hawks. And it will be a throw-in for Roberts Wesleyan. 3:35 to play in overtime number 2. Throw is taken out toward midfield where Ruiz is waiting. And it's knocked away by Kishenko. Throw in. Once again taken by the Red Hawks. Ruiz looking to turn. And Kishenko takes him down. He didn't like the call. And you have to wonder how many times the Dolphins can foul Ruiz. I think he has a case. He's been fouled quite a bit. And by more than one Dolphin who has already been issued a yellow card. Free kick will be taken along the far sideline about midway between the top of the box and midfield. As once again, the official stops the clock and will speak to Ruiz and Angulo. We've seen more than one free kick halted by the head official. He has spoken to these two more than once already. The response is nods from both Angulo and Ruiz, but they've been going back and forth all afternoon. Sullivan to take the free kick. Sends it toward the far post, and Siegel got a foot on it for CSI. Maikut up to Figueroa, and that ball too long for Figueroa. Peterson has it for Staten Island off the throw-in. Wants somewhere to go with it. It's Rofale who has it now. Rofale towards Siegel. Dolphins may have a chance brewing here as Siegel looking for some space, can't create any for himself, and he turns it over. Curtis trying to get by Angulo. It's a foot race, and Angulo with the tackle knocks it away. Ruiz joins the challenge now against Angulo, who falls down, and that draws a whistle with 1:47 to go. Free kick will be taken by Hamza Zebi for Staten Island. He sends it across midfield where Perez Vega is waiting. He's being chased by a pair of Dolphins. Kashenko last to touch for CSI along the far sideline. Throw in off the back of Kashenko. And the Redhawks will try it again. This is Nagy. Nagy through the legs of Figueroa, but cleared by Rofale. And two players colliding on the far sideline, but Staten Island winning possession as CSI still looking to move it across midfield as we approach the end of the second overtime. Less than a minute to go. Here come the Redhawks, and that's broken up by Angulo. Dolphins look to counter. Rofale for Maikut. Maikut up to McGuire, and he couldn't get a foot on it. He was looking to redirect it for Peterson. Peterson wondering why he wasn't sent the ball in the first place. As this will likely be the last chance for the Redhawks. 30 seconds to play. Plenty of time. Nagy challenged by Gonzalez. He took it away. The Dolphins bench urging CSI's attack forward as Peterson goes down. No whistle. A foul was called. The clock is not stopped, and no foul called. Throw in for Staten Island. Long ball sent toward the corner, and that will do it. So for the Redhawks, their unbeaten streak extended to 7 straight. For the Dolphins, their winless streak is extended to 5. And the players taking their time leaving the pitch, but this one is over as this East Coast Conference matchup ends in a draw. Both teams finish with a goal. And for the College of Staten Island, their record on the season moves to, I believe that makes it 3-9-2. For the Redhawks, they are now 6-4-3. Some final stats before we sign off in this one. Shots 30-6 in favor of Roberts Wesleyan. Shots on goal 15-4 in favor of Roberts Wesleyan. 25 total fouls in the game, 14 committed by Staten Island and 11 by Roberts Wesleyan. We saw 8 yellow cards in the game, 6 issued to Staten Island and 2 to Roberts Wesleyan. Omer Hamzazebi, 14 saves in this match. He faced 15 shots on goal, as I mentioned before. Dolphins facing 30 shots in the game, but the number that matters up on the scoreboard, only 1 goal for the Redhawks, and it was an equalizer that came late in the second half. The Dolphins were able to take the lead off of a turnover by Roberts Wesleyan late in the second half. Dolphins scoring the game's first goal in the 72nd minute. The Redhawks answering just 6 minutes later in the 78th minute. That equalizer brought us even at 1, and that is our final score, 1 goal per side in today's East Coast Conference matchup. Our next broadcast will be a doubleheader this Saturday. Men's and women's soccer returning to Dolphin Soccer Park. The women will kick things off first with an 11 a.m. start. Those Saturday matches will be played for the men against Malloy College, and for the women, they open against the Lions at 11 a.m. So be sure to tune in here on the ECC Network for those 2 matches. If you can't make it, of course, here at Dolphin Soccer Park, we encourage those who are able to attend on Saturday morning into the afternoon. Of course, a negative COVID-19 PCR test or vaccination proof is required for entry here at Dolphin Soccer Park. And again, if you can attend the game, we encourage you to do so. But until then, this has been Joe Foreman, and for all of us here at the College of Staten Island, we thank you for watching. Once again, be sure to tune in or join us here at Dolphin Soccer Park this coming Saturday when men's and women's soccer take on Malloy College. Until Saturday, enjoy the rest of your week.